We're going to now see how to get our code editor. So I'm going to type in Visual Studio Code, and this is the editor that we're going to be using. It's at code.visualstudio.com. So I'm going to go there. And right here on the home page, you can learn more about the editor. But of course, as we go through this course, we're going to learn quite a bit as well and really learn what we need to know rather than just going through everything and doing a whole tour of this editor. But here are some basics about the editor. So it's cross-platform. You can use it on Windows. You can use it on a Mac. And also, it is free, so you don't have to pay anything to use this. Now, one of the reasons I really like to use this editor is because, well, it's a great editor. And then also, you have an integrated terminal, so you don't have to keep going out to your terminal or command line to run different commands at the command prompt. So you can say right here inside of your editor and pretty much do everything. When we're needing to go into the browser, of course, we'll do that. But the two tools, as we move forward through the course, are going to be the editor and the web browser. And that really makes things fairly simple in regards to our development environment and the kind of workflows that we're going to be using. So to get Visual Studio Code on your machine, go ahead and download it. I'm on a Mac, so you can see here, download from Mac. And then you have the other different operating systems that you can download it for here. But it should just auto-detect whatever you're on, so go ahead and install it. While you're installing it, one thing to keep an eye out for, what should happen at the beginning of the installation, is do you want to integrate, depending on your OS, do you want to integrate with Finder or do you want to integrate with Windows Explorer so that you can, or add a shortcut so you can quickly launch Visual Studio Code. So at the terminal, you can just type in code space dot, and it will launch from the folder that you're inside, which makes things really easy because it will open up and have that folder there, and you can start going ahead and adding your files that way and doing any kind of folder exploring that you need to do right there inside of Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to go out to a command prompt and go ahead and launch Visual Studio Code, and you'll see that shortcut I'm talking about, and then also we get to see the IDE in action. All right, so I am at my command prompt. I'm inside of a folder I've created for this project, so hello world right there. And if I go ahead and check the contents, you can see there's nothing in this folder at all. So this is the shortcut to launch Visual Studio Code right from this folder. So I'm going to do a code space dot and go ahead and launch Visual Studio Code. All right, so here I am. I'm going to go ahead and contain the full screen. All right, so you can see there's no files. This is my folder right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open up the command prompt. So I'm going to go to View. I'm going to go to Integrated Terminal, and down here is my command prompt inside of that folder. And if I ls this, you can see once again, there's nothing there. So this is really convenient. I don't have to worry about going out to my terminal. Okay, so this is what Visual Studio Code looks like. We have on the left is where our folders and our files are going to appear. So subfolders in this case. I'm going to create a file just by clicking right here on this plus with this new file and just call it index.html. And you can see here it is open. So here's our welcome. I can click the X, close that. And then of course this is where we're going to paste in our code from Bootstrap. And then we're going to check out what our first initial page looks like. So this right here will create folders. I'm going to go ahead and just create one and call it source. And actually I would want to put index.html inside of there. So you can see now it's inside of that folder. And if I go ahead and click, it will open up. So those are pretty much the basics. This is about as much as we're going to do. We're going to, of course, see the code highlighting and the other features the editor has as we walk through the course. So if you're using something like Atom or some of these other popular text editors, they're going to work just normally as you would want them to the way we're doing this. So you may have to jump out to the terminal, but if you're used to that workflow, it's probably not much of a big difference. So next what we're going to do is go ahead and get Bootstrap 4, initialize our project, and start moving forward with creating a simple hello world example so we can see how everything comes together.